Before the fame, before the billboards, before the myth, there was fear. Not the kind you see in movies, the kind that breathes down your neck in the dark, the kind built by the Black Mafia family. In the late 1990s, on the Detroit streets muffled under winter snow, people knew the name BMF, but whispered it like a curse. Because behind the luxury, behind the diamonds, there was something else. A system of punishment that felt less like organized crime and more like a haunting. Imagine this. A young man falls behind on a drug debt. We're not talking about thousands. We're talking about millions. Court records show he was taken, shoved into a car, and held at gunpoint by BMF associates. No lights, no chance to run. In sworn testimony, he later said he felt like he had disappeared from the world. No one knew where he was, and BMF liked it that way. This wasn't just random violence. It was a calculated message, cold and clear. If you cross the organization, you vanish. Then there were the house-trapping operations. Real cases reveal victims being confined inside houses and apartments. The doors were locked, cell phones were taken, and armed guards paced the hallways like wolves. Inside, the rooms were quiet. Too quiet. Victims later described the same chilling feeling. You're not alive. You're not dead. You're just held. Hours bled into days, while interrogations unfolded questions, threats, and beatings, all designed to break the mind long before breaking the body. These places weren't elaborate torture chambers. They didn't need to be. The silence did most of the work. By the early 2000s, the operation moved south to Atlanta. The city was booming, clubs were overflowing, and money was everywhere. But whispers followed BMF like shadows. Anthony Bear Jones, a local promoter, was gunned down a hit that investigators tied directly to a BMF associate. A bodyguard connected to the hip-hop world was shot and killed, again with ties to individuals orbiting the organization. Federal agents later testified that intimidation wasn't just a tactic, it was the very air BMF breathed. The threat was terrifyingly simple. Talk, and you will not see tomorrow. At the heart of this was a sophisticated enforcement machine. Evidence shows BMF had a network of loyal enforcers, men who moved at night, masked by power and the promise of absolute silence. One witness told investigators that BMF didn't yell. They didn't bargain. They simply appeared gloved hands, drawn guns, quiet voices, and whatever they wanted, they took. The most frightening part wasn't the outright violence. It was the calm, the chilling professionalism. The way danger could walk into a room and close the door softly behind it. But by the mid-2000s, the empire began to crack. Wiretaps, sting operations, and the raw human fear that had been suppressed for so long started spilling out of sealed courtrooms. Victim after victim testified about being kidnapped, held, beaten, and threatened with death. It wasn't just one story, but many, all lining up like bones in the dirt, painting a horrifying picture. The truth hits harder than any TV show. The Black Mafia family didn't need to hire monsters. They became the monstera kind that moves through real neighborhoods, stands behind real doors, and changes real lives forever. The empire eventually fell, but the fear it created still lingers, because the scariest stories are always the ones proven true. Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into true crime history.